Weber has launched a brand new pellet grill into the market called the Weber Smoque XL. And in this video, we're going to put it to the test against their flagship model, the Searwood XL. We'll test if either of these are finally a pellet grill that can actually grill a burger, whether the enhanced smoke boost setting actually delivers more smoke than the average pellet grill, and if you can cook a chicken wing on these grills that would rival what you could get in your local bar and grill. I'm David Gafford, and here at the Barbecue Lab, we test over 100 different outdoor cooking and outdoor living products every year so you can make the best decisions with your outdoor cooking dollars. This is going to be a fun one because the Searwood performed really well in last year's Pellet Grill Roundup, pitted against the best grills on the market. I want to start here with a disclaimer. Weber sent us these grills to test and work with here on our channel. They didn't pay us to do it. They didn't send a script or any notes on what we should or shouldn't say. Our thoughts during this testing are our own, so if that's the kind of video that you were hoping to see, let's dive in. Here are the details on the new Weber Smoque XL pellet grill. The price is $9.99 and it's on sale at the time of this video using the links below. The width of the entire grill is 50 3/4 inches, depth is 22.5 inches, and the height is 44.5 inches. The smoke has a weight of 110 pounds. The interaction height of this grill is 34 inches, and there are no shelves on the smoke, but a front and side shelf can be added. There are 2 wheels on this grill and 2 legs. The controller has a low temperature setting of 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius. Smoke boost can also be used at 180 degrees to tell the controller to give more smoke in your cook. The max temp on the smoke is 500 degrees Fahrenheit or 260 Celsius. There are 595 square inches of cooking surface on the main grate and 323 inches on the top grate. The hopper holds 20 pounds of wood pellets. The main attraction is what happens under the grates of this grill. There is a deflector plate like you've never seen on a pellet grill before. With multiple ways for the smoke to get through the deflector, we'll see if there are hot spot issues like we find on most pellet grills during our tests. Now for the Searwood XL. The price is $12.99 and it's on sale at the time of this video. Be sure to check the links down in the description. The width of the grill is 50.5 inches, the depth is 23 inches, and the height is 45 3/4 inches. The Searwood XL weighs in at almost 158 pounds. The interaction height on the Searwood is 35 inches. There aren't any shelves on this model, but they can be added as optional accessories. There are 2 wheels and 2 legs on this design as well, so no Weber pellet grills are super easy to move around, but they stay in place well when it's windy. The controller is the same as the Smoke in some aspects, but there's way more screen to work with on the Searwood. You can see the actual temperature, set temperature, both probes, and a timer on the screen at the same time. The Searwood comes with smoke boost at the low temp limit of 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 C, but it has a high temp limit of 600 F or 315 C, 100 degrees hotter than the smoke. The bottom grate has 630 square inches of cooking surface and measures 36 inches wide by 17.5 inches deep. The top grate has 342 square inches of cooking area. The hopper is designed to hold 20 pounds of wood pellets, and under the hood, it's an entirely different beast. This grill doesn't really have a deflector. It's more of a heat tent or a flavorizer bar like you'd find on a gas grill. There's a unique piece of metal that sits on top of the pellet burn cup that throws the heat to the sides of the main grate, and the slits in the heat tent allow heat to be distributed more evenly across the cooking surface. Or at least that's the plan. It wouldn't be a Barbecue Lab video if we didn't test that, so let's fire them up. If you're ready to start checking out the pricing on these models, make sure you use the links down in the description below. We know that pricing is always changing in a world of ever-evolving tariffs, and we update our video descriptions with links that help you get a discount whenever possible. So before you settle for paying retail, click the links in the description and let us help you get more for your hard-earned dollar. The first test I tell new pellet grill owners to run is the biscuit test. Just buy a can of biscuits at the grocery store, set the grill to whatever the instructions say on the package, and once it's up to temperature, lay the biscuits out evenly across the grate. Set a timer for what the package says, and once that timer goes off, you can flip the biscuits over and see exactly how your grill heats across the cooking grid. In the case of the smoke, here's what our biscuits look like after the grill came up to 350 degrees and the biscuits baked for 15 minutes. You can see that the biscuits are pretty evenly done on the bottoms here at the flip, with the darkest biscuit being in the back left corner. It's not a dramatic difference, but it's worth noting if this is the grill that you want to own. We ran the same test on the Searwood XL, and at the flip, here's what our biscuits look like. The darkest one was again found on the rear left side of the cooking chamber, but not by much compared to the other biscuits. Unlike most pellet grills, the most blonde biscuits were in the front middle, which is traditionally the hottest spot for many competing brands. Overall, a great showing on the biscuit test for both models and didn't throw any red flags for me. Pellet grills are traditionally known for long, low and slow cooks like brisket and pulled pork with the ease of using an indoor oven. To test this, we're running a single pork butt in each grill and turning on the smoke boost setting to see if we can get more smoke flavor. You know I'm going to use my favorite rub, our pork protocol that we created for pulled pork and ribs, and I'm scoring the fat cap on the top first, then seasoning liberally to cover everything. When you set the smoke or the searwood to smoke boost, it automatically sets the grill to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. The manual lays out that the grill will fluctuate between 180 and 200 F when set in this mode. We let them run for 4 hours with smoke boost, and here's how the pork butt looked when we opened the lid on the smoke. And then here is how it looked when you had the same pork butt on the Searwood XL. If you were expecting to see a massive color change, there really isn't one, because running at just 180 degrees isn't caramelizing the sugar or doing much to set the bark. What it is doing is trying to get smoke penetration, so we'll see when we pull it if that was successful. We turned the grills up to 250 and set a timer for another 2 hours, and here's how things were looking on the smoke, and here's how it looked on the Searwood XL. I wish we had more time to let these run without a wrap, but kids' activities have us running around town, and we can only do what we can do. So we wrapped both butts and took them the rest of the way to 200 degrees, let it rest for 2 hours, and here's the pulled meat from the Weber Smoque grill. Lovely pink and red hues from the smoke penetration throughout, and here is the pulled pork from the Searwood XL model. Also, lovely pink and red hues throughout the meat from that 4-hour smoke boost bath at the beginning of the cook. There was really no discernible difference in the flavor or texture of each pork butt. They both pretty much cooked the exact same way. Now, I know that you want to know how smoky it tasted compared to how much of a smoke ring or color we got on these. I would say that it's not as smoky as what you would get in a Kamado using wood chunks. It's also not as smoky as what you would get in an offset stick burner pit. I would say that it's stronger than what I'm used to getting with other pellet grills, but not by a huge margin. It's still a pellet grill style of flavor, but it's a little heavier in my opinion than what I would get on a Traeger or a Pit Boss or some of the other brands that I've tested. In just a second, we're going to fire up some chicken wings, hot, fast, and indirect, test high heat grilling, and see how much of a mess we made of these grills and how difficult they are to clean. But before we do, I want to pass a question off to you. Can you taste the difference in different pellet flavors that you use with your pellet grill, or are they all the same to you? Let me know down in the comments below, because here in my local area, we're pretty divided on this issue. One of my favorite ways to cook chicken wings is hot, fast, and indirect. We set each grill to 450 degrees, and while they came up to temperature, we seasoned them with our feathered formula chicken rub to get a grate full of delicious wings. On the smoke, we used our hot feathered formula on half since we had guests at the lab, and the recipe was simple. Chicken wings, cover and rub, set on the grill, and set a couple of timers. Once the wings were on, the first timer was for 15 minutes. At that point, we flipped the wings over and set another timer for 15 minutes. On the smoke, we flipped them one last time, set a timer for 10 minutes, and here's how things looked when the wings were done. The left side is the regular feathered formula, and the right side is hot, because in my mind, hot is always right. The smoke put great color on the wings, and they were a hit with our guests. On the Searwood, we did 15 minutes, flip, and after just another 15 minutes, here's how the wings looked. We got absolutely gorgeous caramelization and color on these wings. The crispy skin was incredible and just overall better than the wings on the smoke on this test. On the chicken wing test, for me, the Searwood XL was the clear winner. Hey, if you're getting value out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button down below and subscribe while you're there if you want to see more outdoor cooking content just like this. I think at this point we all know that pellet grills are primarily known for smoking meat, but they do have an Achilles heel. There aren't many pellet grills on the market that can also sear a hamburger or a steak. To put these two grills to the test, I made up some 1/4 to 1/3 pound patties and seasoned them up using our essential equation SPG seasoning. I set each grill to as high as they would go. The smoke could go to 500 degrees, and the Searwood XL went all the way to 600 degrees. We placed the patties down on the grate, set a timer for 5 minutes, and here's what the smoke burgers looked like at the 5-minute timer as it ended. Not a bad set of sear marks on either burger when compared to the world of pellet grills that are out there. This lands the smoke in the top 80% in my estimation. Now, for the Searwood XL with the same test. Patties down, timer for 5 minutes, and here's how they looked at the flip. Much wider and more pronounced sear marks on the XL at this higher temperature. The Searwood felt like I was cooking on a gas grill and not a pellet grill, and I don't think that I've ever said that a pellet grill feels like a gas grill in the history of this channel, and that's saying something. Cleaning a pellet grill is rarely any fun, but to compare and test, we'll do it for science. Starting with the smoke, the grates are an easy clean with a good old wire brush. For the deflector plate, Weber sends a plastic bendable spatula in the box, and it makes for an easy scrape down for all of the deflector parts. When the deflector is finished and you take it out, you can still see quite a bit of ash in the bottom of the grill. Usually you'd have to vacuum this out, but with the smoke, you can take out this wing nut and the grease chute comes out, giving you a direct path to the cleanup tray. A few scrapes later, and this grill is clean, the aluminum tray is also disposable. On the Searwood XL, the grates are the same deal. Easy to clean with a wire brush. Under the grates, there's not really a deflector like you'd find on most every other pellet grill on the market. It really looks like a giant flavorizer bar like you'd find on a gas grill. Cleaning it is simple, just use the provided plastic spatula to scrape it off. Underneath, you'll find a piece that I don't know what it's called, but I'll call it the heat router, and there's not much to clean here since anything that falls on it will basically burn up from direct heat. The rest of the Searwood design allows everything to fall into the cleaning tray, and that slides out for easy access. It's much lower than most of the cleaning access on the smoke, and I like that for grease control when you're going between low and slow and hot and fast cooking. A simple scrape down with the spatula Weber sends with the grill, and you have a disposable aluminum tray for super easy cleanup. In just a second, I'm going to walk through the differences between these two grills and why you should choose one over the other. But before I do, I want to let you know that we have a discounts and deals page on our website over at thebarbecuelab.com. Just click Deals and Discounts in the main menu, and you'll be taken to a page with dozens of codes and coupons that you can use to save money on your next outdoor cooking purchase. We keep this page updated for you, so bookmark this page and come back before you buy and save yourself some cash. There are some clear similarities between these two grills, so let's go over them. First, you can control both grills from the Weber Connect app. Change the temperature, power the grill off, check probe temperatures, and more can all be done on both grills. The overall size is also similar. These are both XL versions, and the difference in width is just a couple of inches, while depth is the same. They both have a low temperature of 180 degrees, and they can both use the smoke boost mode to enhance those low and slow cooks. Both grills come with a 2-wheel design, not 4 wheels. So if you're planning on moving either of these grills around, you will have to pick one side of the grill up to move it. Both of these XL models have grates that come in 3 panels of different sizes. They're easy to take inside to deep clean if that's what you want. There are 2 thermometer ports on each grill, and they both come with probes out of the box. Both models have a 20-pound pellet hopper that is designed to hold a single bag of wood pellets at a time. Now, let's talk about the differences. The Searwood XL can cook with the lid open on manual mode, allowing you to use a flat top griddle in place of the grill grates. That makes the Searwood an option for those of you who want gas grill, pellet grill, and griddle capability all in one unit on the patio or deck. The screen size is much larger on the Searwood controller than on the Smoke. They both work and you could read them, but the Searwood is noticeably easier to read and interact with. Under the grates is a whole new world when compared. The Smoke has that main deflector that's much more complex than anything we see from other brands, but it's a deflector design nonetheless. The Searwood goes with that flavorizer bar concept, and if you saw the wings or burger tests earlier in the video, you know the Searwood shines at higher heat settings. The tires are quite a bit larger on the Searwood, but they're both plastic, so this really wouldn't be a decision maker for me. The cooking surface width is a few inches longer on the Searwood, but not by much. There is a top-end temperature range difference as well. The Smoke can go up to 500 degrees, while the Searwood tops out at 600 degrees Fahrenheit. A bottom shelf doesn't come in the box for the Smoke, but it does for the Searwood. You can add a bottom shelf after the fact for the Smoke if that's a deal breaker for you. The top lid on the Searwood is also double walled if cooking in colder climates is something you'll be doing often. The Searwood has an optional rotisserie, and it appears to us that eventually the Smoke will as well, but we can't find one at the time of this video. So why would you want to choose the Smoke over the Searwood? First, there's a price difference. If you want to save $300 and put that towards a couple of accessories or a brisket or two, there's your primary reason. If you don't see the value in the performance difference of 500 degrees top-end heat versus 600 degrees, there's another reason. If you're okay with having to check in on the app to see your probe temps rather than the display, the Smoke will get the job done. If you already have a gas grill or a griddle that you'll be cooking hot and searing with, the Searwood might be overkill for you, making the Smoke perfect. Now, why would you want to choose the Searwood XL over the Smoke XL? If you're the type of person who wants a pellet grill that does it all, that's the Searwood XL. If you want to grill burgers on the same grill that you smoke meat on and have a griddle top waiting in the wings for pancakes the next morning, you're the Searwood type. The display is much nicer and way larger on the Searwood, and you can see everything at the same time on one screen. If you're okay with an extra $300 to get all of the bells and whistles that I laid out in the sections before this, this is the one that you want to go home with. In my opinion, the Smoke is a better pellet grill than 75% of the pellet grills that are on the market right now. And that's saying something, especially at this price point. The Searwood, though, in my opinion, is one of the finest pellet grills on the market, and it's a better pellet grill than the Smoke, justifying the higher price for me. But the decision, it's not up to me in how you spend your outdoor cooking budget. That's completely your call. So what didn't I cover that you were hoping to see in this video? What did you agree with or disagree with? Let me know down in the comments below, and Melissa and I do our best to read each one. Remember that these grills are on sale right now if you use the links below in the description, so save yourself some money on a great pellet grill. I'm David from the Barbecue Lab. Behind the camera is Melissa. Thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.